Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we have something completely different here on NerosCinema. As a Call of Duty channel, I'm no stranger to covering the absolute nonsense that comes out from Activision, so today we're going to take a look at the other half of the company with Blizzard, the creators of games like Diablo, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and you guessed it, Overwatch, and more recently Overwatch 2. Recently, it was announced that Overwatch 2 is essentially scrapping all of their previously revealed PvE content. After years of neglecting the original Overwatch game, Blizzard revealed that the previously PvP-centric game would be updated to include massive PvE and co-op modes similar to Destiny and a bit like Borderlands. These updates included character skill trees, character leveling, ability-altering updates, as well as a whole storyline and co-op missions that would expand the already extensive Overwatch lore that won the hearts of fans right from the game's very first introductory cinematic. Years went on without any sort of update until eventually Blizzard announced Overwatch 2 in a move that was highly controversial according to players and critics alike. The big selling point for the game was it was going to heavily dive into PvE, co-op, and story modes while also maintaining the PvP that the game was known for, while also updating the graphics and changing the monetization model from a paid game to a free-to-play game. This was met with a lot of skepticism, as changing graphics and rebalancing PvP to 5v5 sounded an awful lot more like an update rather than cause for a whole new game, but fans eventually decided to trust Blizzard and give the game a shot. When Overwatch 2 eventually dropped in October of 2022, fans' worries started to become realized. The game indeed did look better, and the new 5v5 and role rebalancing was a breath of fresh air for PvP fans, but that was about it. All player progression from the original game was stripped, with leveling being completely removed, loot boxes were cut in exchange for a player shop and a battle pass, and that was about it. Like, literally, that was about it. Overwatch 2, while shiny and new, still felt like the original game because it had zero PvE or co-op elements. Without these features, which were promised in 2019 and even grumbled about back as early as 2017, Overwatch 2 just felt like a cash shop update more than a real game. And boy, did this cash shop absolutely ruin player progression and start nickel and diming players at every possible chance. In typical free-to-play fashion, nothing could really be earned anymore within Overwatch. It had to be bought, and the prices for these cosmetics were and still are absolutely egregious. Here I'm going to highlight the prices of different individual bits of cosmetic content in US dollars as they relate to the price of the Overwatch coins within the game's shop. Legendary skins are $19 for new characters, epic skins are $10, a rare skin is $3, highlight intros are $7, and emotes are $5. With the removal of loot boxes and player leveling, pulling out your credit card has now become the sole path of progression for players in the game. Previously, players could earn loot boxes by leveling up and doing challenges in the game, and while I completely agree that loot boxes are sort of just this artifact of a bygone age, Blizzard has taken a page out of Activision's book and found a way to implement an exploitative in-game shop that is so bad, so anti-consumer, that fans are crying out for the return of loot boxes because, believe it or not, just like in Call of Duty, loot boxes were much more consumer friendly and in the end rewarded you more for your time and even your in-game skill. This part of the video is going to involve a bit of math, so I'll try to make it not too dry, but please listen the whole way through because it's really going to show how horrible Overwatch 2's shop is and how corporate greed has stripped away nearly all forms of progression so that they can milk their whales for their shareholders. So previously in Overwatch 1, loot boxes were roughly $1 each in the shop, but you could also earn them in a variety of ways. We got one loot box every time we leveled up, and you would level up 20% faster while playing in a party, and you also got more XP for earning gold medals in matches. This would incentivize players to not only play well, but also make new friends and just be nice in their matches so that they could join groups. Players would also get 3 loot boxes per week if they did challenges in the arcade, which encouraged people to try out new things like the elimination game modes, free-for-all, capture the flag, or even mystery heroes. You then got up to 10 loot boxes from the endorsement system, which which again incentivized players to play the game well and be friendly to others. That wouldn't last too long, but it did incentivize players early on. You would also get one loot box when signing into an event whenever that came out, and you would even get them occasionally from Twitch drops or promotions through things like Twitch Prime. With all these different ways to earn loot boxes, players would reasonably get a lot of cosmetic content by playing the game without ever spending money outside of buying the initial base price of the game. Players would get these loot boxes by trying to be good, making friends, and generally just not being a douchebag online. This did not stop the toxicity in the game completely, but it was a decent start, and you did earn a lot just by playing the game, which is ultimately what I, as a player, want to have. I don't find the game engaging when the sole path of progression is swiping a credit card. The game is more engaging when you can actually earn things by playing the game, meeting other people, and being good at the game. Seems like a positive move, right? We then move on over here to Overwatch 2, where loot boxes are now gone, player levels are also gone, and we have a paid shop and a battle pass. The battle pass itself costs $10 if you want the premium version of it. It's free otherwise, but the free version barely gives you any content really whatsoever. For the sake of argument here, we're just going to be talking about the more expensive and interesting bits of content within the battle pass and Overwatch 2 as a whole. These bits of content are going to include character skins, highlight intros, and emotes. I don't think we need to talk about things like player icons, player titles, voice lines, or victory poses, because those are mostly considered filler content by the player base. The big things that people want cosmetically are skins, highlight intros, and emotes, as they directly relate to the game itself. In Overwatch 2, the free version of the battle pass, at least here in Season 4, only awards you 5 bits of decent content. This includes 2 epic skins, 1 highlight intro that is on tier 79 of an 80 tier battle pass, and then 2 emotes. That is it. So using Blizzard's previous prices in the shop, this equates to about $37 worth of value if you complete the entire battle pass without purchasing it. Now, if you do cough up the $10, you'll get 1 mythic skin, 5 legendary skins, 3 highlight intros, 2 emotes, and 2,000 legacy credits that can only be used on old cosmetics within the game, not new ones. Yeah, so there's 2 different kinds of currency because, of course, we have to have multiple kinds of currency in our free-to-play shooter. So factoring in the price of new and old legendary skins, this means that at the very least, the Season 4 Overwatch 2 Battle Pass has about $120 worth of cosmetic value. Lifeweaver's legendary skin, for example, would be valued at $19 because he's a new character, whereas the older characters' legendary skins are valued at about $10, $15 if you count them coming from different events and things like that. But in general, we're just going to say, for the sake of argument, that old legendary skins are $10, new legendary skins are $19. Basically, $19 for Lifeweaver's skin, $10 for each of the Overwatch 1 character skins, and then the normal price for the legacy credits, the highlight intros, as well as the emotes. $120 worth of value does not seem that bad, but keep in mind this is only if you pony up the $10 and only if you complete all 80 tiers of the given season. Now, in contrast to this, I ended up finding 3 old loot box unboxing videos on my second channel, NerosCinema 2. These videos are from 2017, right around the time the game came out, and here we're going to be using 3 different examples of me opening 20 loot boxes and calculating the Overwatch 2 value of the items. The prices of the legendary skins will be $19 because at the time these were new skins. The price of the epic skins will be $10, rare skins will be $3, so on and so forth. The same monetization model that we had in Overwatch 2. The first loot box opening, which mind you, these could be earned for free or valued at $20 regardless, but most people just played the game and unlocked them for free. I got 1 legendary skin, 1 epic skin, 3 rare skins, 3 highlight intros, and 2 emotes. This is not even counting the duplicates that I got because those are automatically turned into Overwatch coins back in Overwatch 1. So in total, I got $69 worth of cosmetics, nice number, and $10 worth of Overwatch coins, which means those 20 loot boxes were worth about $79 in total by Overwatch 2 standards. The second loot box opening saw me get 5 legendary skins, 1 epic skin, 2 highlight intros, and 2 emotes. In total, that is $129 worth of cosmetics, $6 worth of Overwatch coins I can spend on wherever I want, with a grand total of $135. The third loot box opening saw me get 5 more legendary skins, 1 epic skin, 2 rare skins, 2 highlight intros, and 3 emotes. This means that this 20 loot box opening dropped me $140 worth of cosmetics and about like $350 worth of Overwatch coins. Now, I know the argument to this is going to be this is an incredibly small sample size, and I'm aware of that. This is. I can only go off of what I actually have, like what information I have available to me right now, and this is actually me opening loot boxes. I acknowledge this is a small sample size, but stick with me here. 60 loot boxes were opened. $357.50 worth of value was extracted. This means that each loot box averaged out to a value in Overwatch 2 terms of about $6 a piece, and these could be earned for free or purchased with $1. Now obviously when it comes to in-game prices, they're all just made up by the lizards over at Activision Blizzard, and again, this is admittedly a very small sample size, but $6 worth of value per loot box is not that bad, especially when all the duplicates also result in Overwatch coins that you could then use to directly purchase the stuff you want without relying on luck from the loot boxes themselves. In these 3 completely random instances of opening $20 worth of loot boxes, which again could be earned for free, each collective opening averaged out to a value of about $120, which is about the same value of the current premium battle pass within Overwatch 2. I think some of you see where I'm going with this. With the battle pass requiring you to go through 79 tiers to unlock all the free stuff here in Overwatch 2, that is roughly the equivalent of leveling up 79 times back in Overwatch 1. This means that had the old loot box system stayed, instead of having the battle pass here, instead we would have something close to roughly 79 free loot boxes just from leveling up, not counting the ones you got weekly from the arcade or from your endorsements or anything like that. Again, using my 3 random loot box openings as an example, if each loot box is valued at about $6 a piece, quick math shows that $6 times 79 loot boxes would hopefully let you expect about $470 worth of free content compared to the $37 worth of free content that you get from the Overwatch 2 free battle pass. The numbers are right there, guys, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the inherent problem with Overwatch 2 progression. There is none. That's it. Like, you have the battle pass that you're basically required to pay for if you want to unlock anything, and that is all. Every Overwatch 2 season is 9 weeks long, which means that if you're an actual free-to-play player, those 2 epic skins, 2 emotes, and 1 highlight intro are all you are going to earn from the game for free during the entirety of the 9 weeks of a given season in the game. That is absurd. If you go back to Overwatch 1, the sky was the limit as to how much content you could earn, because over those 9 weeks of a typical Overwatch 2 season, you could earn up to 27 loot boxes just from the arcade, plus a loot box every time you leveled up. And not only did these loot boxes incentivize people to play modes outside their comfort zone, it also encouraged players to be nice to one another and be good teammates via the endorsement system, and you also got rewarded for good play because the more gold medals you had in a match, the more XP you got. Everything about the Overwatch 1 system was better. If we look at my collection here in Overwatch 2, you guys are going to notice how crazy this is when I compare the number of cosmetics I have for old characters compared to new. The obvious argument to this is, well, these are newer characters. You haven't played the game as much now as maybe you did back then. I promise you guys, I've been playing the game a ton here in this current competitive season alone. I put a ridiculous amount of time into Overwatch 2 by my standards as someone who's not an Overwatch 2 content creator. And I'm not going to bore you by looking at every single character here, but this is the greatest example I can possibly give. In Overwatch 1, you would earn so much content that you didn't even want all of it. Doomfist was originally a DPS character in Overwatch 1 that was turned into a tank character in Overwatch 2. I'll be honest, I'm bad as Doomfist in Overwatch 2. I mess around with him in the training modes and things like that. I cannot get a grip on him, and Overwatch 2 is actually a really bad tank, especially at low ranks like where I'm at, so I never play him, right? Overall, I never got into playing him, and I have a grand total of 19 minutes online with him. 19 minutes in actual matches, ladies and gentlemen. Yet, because he released back in Overwatch 1, where you could actually earn things in-game, I have 75 cosmetics for him, including 4 legendary skins that by today's standards would be valued at about $76. We then look at Ramatra, who's a new tank character here in Overwatch 2, who is super strong and for me personally is super fun to play. I have about 8 hours on him so far here in Overwatch 2 playing ranked and things like that, and I have 6 total cosmetics for him, but they're all filler garbage, right? When it comes to the cosmetics I have for Ramatra, I have 0 skins, 0 highlight intros, 0 emotes. I had virtually nothing for him because I did not play during Season 2 when he was released, therefore I didn't get the Battle Pass, therefore I did not get anything for this character. There is no way for me to earn anything for this character that I've put 8 hours of playtime into, but a character that I have 19 total minutes on over the course of like the last 5 years, I have 75 different cosmetics and 4 different legendary skins for. That just goes to show how bad the progression in Overwatch 2 is. I have more hours played on Ramatra, then I have items that I can use for him. I have nothing for him. That is obscene, but not as obscene as the problem that I have with the weekly challenge system. I've been waiting to talk about this one here for a while. So in true free-to-play fashion, you can earn, quote-unquote, some of the premium currency here within the game. Each week, if you do 11 of the 12 weekly challenges here in Overwatch 2, you can earn 60, that's right, 60 Overwatch coins. Remember that 100 Overwatch coins is roughly valued at $1. So for doing all these challenges within a given week, you get 60 cents worth of Overwatch coins. Wow. This means that if you do all of your weekly challenges for 31 straight weeks, which is just shy of 8 fucking months, you can then buy one new legendary skin for free simply by playing the game. What amazing player progression. 8 fucking months to unlock a legendary skin that you could otherwise buy in the shop as part of some random $20 or $30 bundle. Overwatch 2's monetization is an absolute slap in the face to the player base when it comes to player progression. The only silver lining to all this nonsense, and the reason why fans have been putting up with this, was the hope that things would get better over time, but here we are about 7 months into the game's life cycle and things have not gotten better, and we've also been hoping for the PvE content, but now that PvE has been scrapped, Blizzard has no excuse for the 3 years of nothing that they ended the original Overwatch with. They have no excuse for getting rid of player levels and loot boxes. They have no excuse for adding the shop to the game, and they damn sure have no excuse for how bad the battle pass is. Without the PvE elements, Overwatch 2 is literally just an update to Overwatch 1 with a much worse monetization model and virtually no player progression. Outside, I suppose, because someone's going to bring it up, of the gold weapons you can get in ranked. Yes, these are here. For every ranked win you get 25 competitive points. You need 3,000 for a gold weapon, so do the math on that. That's going to be a lot of wins and a lot of losses to hopefully be able to get one golden weapon here in this game. I personally enjoy ranked play. I enjoy getting better at the game. I like learning the heroes, and I like working towards those gold guns, but that can only last so long. In the interview where they canceled PvE in Overwatch 2, they did give us a roadmap for the future, and in here they mentioned things like hero mastery and new player progression systems are going to be coming, but so far these have not been elaborated on. At best, these updates are going to come in Season 6, which will be around like September, which by that point, I don't even know if Overwatch 2 is going to exist. So in the meantime, fans are just left wondering what has happened to what was once considered to be one of the top PvP games in the world. Overwatch released with all the potential in the world. It was beloved by its players, and the future was looking incredibly bright with the potential for PvE and co-op content to be added on top of the super addictive PvP gameplay. Now, Overwatch has been reduced to a glorified cash shop designed to milk what is left of its dwindling player base, and Blizzard's greed and lack of direction is solely to blame. I love this game. I love this franchise. I love this universe, and I hope it gets better. But with the recent news, I find myself, and presumably the rest of you are in agreement here, how much longer does this game even have left in it? This game is certainly one of the worst examples of a bait and switch that we've seen in gaming recently, though given the current state of the games industry, I honestly can't say I'm surprised. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.